Up to you guys, you can use as much or as little or not at all as you want. Calisthenics means beauty and strength. Those two components working together, a well-performed muscle-up should look beautifully strong if it's done well. And you guys will know, like from a sports perspective, anything which looks effortless from a movement or physiological perspective requires less effort. And that's where we want our guys to get to from a more athletic position of like, if movement looks effortless, then we know we're in a good place. We've got a good selection of movement options. If we have higher levels of proprioception, then we're better able to transfer forces generated proximally to the distal components of the body. So if we have better proprioception around the shoulder, we can transfer forces out effectively, or we can stabilize forces in better positions. So we're generating a huge amount of force in a hip. It's coming through from the chamber, winding up the force. And if the shoulder is the weak link because we lack the muscular control and dynamic stability, which one's going to go? The shoulder's an easy one because, again, of the architecture of the joint. So what I'm saying here is that we need to improve proprioception and we need to improve our ability to integrate that shoulder into full pattern movements to be able to then manage forces that we're going to get in a rugby match. An injured shoulder is perfect. What we look at is we go an established range of movement, improve neuromuscular control, integrate it with the kinetic chain. Those are our principles from a rehab perspective. As soon as that player then is uninjured and returns into the strength and conditioning environment, we forget all of the stuff that we did from a shoulder perspective to actually make it high performing or to get back to a point. We just go get back in the gym and let's get strong, that's what we do. But these principles are well established in the literature and they work from a shoulder perspective. Where the physio bit kind of like stops and S&C starts, there's a gap in the middle of how do we continue to scale robustness and what tools do we have. And I think that's where we lack in the strength and conditioning environment, is we just aren't equipped to scale stability. I think it's an interesting thing around, like say we take the hand balancing perspective. Hand is on the floor, we're now going to have to move the whole body around the hand and the shoulder. So we're shifting now, fixing that end position, and then I'm going to have to move my hips and my core and my shoulder. And if I can get into a handstand and I can hold my body position straight, I've got shoulder stable, I've got all these benefits from a closed kinetic chain perspective, but I've also integrated that into the kinetic chain. You can't do a well-controlled handstand unless you can synchronize some of this stuff. Can you create strength at end range? Can you create neuromuscular stability at end range? So the handstand, as we said before, is just a byproduct potentially of what I actually want, which is stability at end range. It's just a way of getting it. It doesn't have to be about the handstand for us, but for the athletes, it's like, I'm going to teach handstand. Oh, that sounds cool, a bit different to the shoulder pressing. So they buy in and we get engagement and adherence.